welcome back to another episode of Ways to Love Your Money. I'm going to be your host today. I'm Katie Steck. I'm so happy to have you with us. I am doing a little takeover of our podcast from Elizabeth Dawson this week, and I'm here with Stephen Kime.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here with us. Before we get started, I just wanted to remind you to check out our website, copiawm.com. It's got everything you need to know to start your financial journey. So we'd love for you to get in touch with us. If you do have any questions, anything you want us to address on this podcast, or anything personal you want to know about, please contact us at questions@elizabethwithansdawson.com. So let's get started.
Quite a mouthful.
Yes, yes. Well, how are you doing today?
I'm great. This is my favorite topic.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'll let you introduce the topic then.
So we're talking about budgeting for the holidays, and I don't know if anyone saw my episode last year of ways to waste your money. This is going to be a little more serious. It was just a little bit of, fun.
Well, I think that this is a big topic right now.
Yeah.
We are already in the Christmas holidays.
Yeah.
If you've been shopping at all recently, can't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
It's already the end of October when we're filming this. So when it comes to holiday shopping, how does your family celebrate?
So my family has always celebrated with my mom saying, "What do you want?" She's bad at surprises, but she's also really bad at budgeting. So, it wasn't ever anything extravagant, but, maybe we could have gone a little more low-key. And so those behaviors kind of transitioned into the way I Christmas shop. And, the last few years I've kind of realized it's really more about just, being there. And so I've kind of had conversations with my family of, listen, I'm a full-time student. I work full-time, but I'm trying to save to buy a house and, save to do other things.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know we all are trying to, do that right now, especially in 2020. A couple of my members of my family have actually been unemployed. They've received a little bit of unemployment and everything, but, money's tight this year. So I kind of just had a serious conversation of, we're going to get together, and I think that's all that's important for us. But It really depends on your situation. I mean,
Right.
If you have a budget, if you save for Christmas, which, we all probably should save for Christmas. That way it's not just going on a credit card and then we're paying it back the rest of the year.
Yes.
I think, that's okay. You don't have to feel guilty about it. And, it's really just about being smart.
Yeah. Did you know that actually the average cost people spend during the holidays is $1,500? It goes on a credit card, and on average it takes 4 years to pay that off.
Yes, I believe that because I used to work in retail.
Right, same. But yeah, can you imagine just that snowball effect of doing that year after year, and then 4 years to pay it off? Next year Christmas comes, we do it all over again. Yeah, I know we talk to our clients all the time when part of our process is doing cash flow and looking at those things and talking about what are your expectations for Christmas? What kind of budget do we need to put together for that? And I know it's already October, so if you haven't done that already,
should we relook at that?
Probably time might be too late to really start setting something aside per month. But I think it's so important to look at your finances and what can you do, and not compare yourself to other people, because everybody, as you said, is in a different financial position. So
I think it's interesting when we get new clients just after the holidays and we're going through the budget analysis and we hear, "Oh, I don't normally spend that much. It was just Christmas." Well, you do normally spend that much because
every year at Christmas.
Every year at Christmas, and then you're paying back. The big suck is the no interest in-store financing. Well, eventually that's going to have interest. A lot of people don't know if they don't pay that off in time, they get hit with all the interest from the beginning of the purchase. But even if it is just on a normal credit card and your interest rate's only 15%, you're still paying someone money to buy gifts.
Right.
So instead of, doing this behavior of every year of I don't spend that much and then paying $100, $200, $300 in minimum payments on your credit card all year, put away $100 every month. And then maybe that's your Christmas budget versus it would have been $100 a month plus whatever interest you have to.
That's such a good point.
So it's really about changing that behavior of I don't normally spend that much. I'm going to spend that much. Why don't I save for it?
Yeah.
Just like vacations.
Yeah.
It's just like grocery shopping. Anything like that. If you're budgeting for it, no big deal.
Right. Which your grocery shopping comment reminded me too. Do you think about those big family meals when you start thinking about Christmas budgeting? I have a feeling most people don't include that in the budget, right?
That's an interesting question because I don't.
Yeah. I think that's an important thing to think about too is, I mean, you got, if you're hosting a Thanksgiving meal and then also Christmas, those meals add up if you start buying wine and a big turkey and things you don't normally shop for. I think that's important to think about too when you're making a budget.
Well, now that I think about it, my grandma usually freezes a turkey like a year in advance because she'll go buy a sale turkey and she's got one of those deep freezers and she'll just keep it in the freezer. So
good for her.
I think she thinks about it, but I don't think anyone else does.
Yeah. So 2020 is so different. What are your plans this year? Are they going to be different just in general with family?
So our family, I have a very small family. There's only 8 of us total, and they're all here. And so we've been really good about, social distancing, things like that. We're actually renting a cabin in Julian, and we're going to go spend Christmas and then a couple days after just together, up by ourselves kind of thing, and do something special. We don't know if we're going to do Thanksgiving just because we don't have to be around each other. We don't have to be around each other, which is one of the unfortunate kind of bummer deals of 2020, but it's our reality, and it's just something that we kind of have to, take the bull by the horns and deal with it. It is what it is.
Well,
but we're doing that little special thing for Christmas, just to be together.
That's nice. That's really nice. Yeah. Well, at least there's technology now, too.
And I know we were talking about possibly doing our company Christmas, over Zoom, and just, everyone eating over Zoom, having wine, laughing, because we can do that, we do that anyway.
Right.
What's the difference?
Right. It's not quite the same as seeing everybody in person, but at least you can enjoy each other's company.
Yeah, at least you can.
Yeah. And I think that that really kind of goes with how Christmas gifts are going to be this year too. If we're not seeing our families the same way, maybe we're not spending the same kinds of dollars on Christmas gifts. I know my husband's side of the family is actually quite large.
Yes, I know.
a few years ago, we started doing, because it just got to be too much with buying gifts for 6 kids, his siblings, and now there's grandkids, and so we just started doing a Secret Santa with everybody.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so we can just make it more special that way and just have one nice thing that we can give somebody in the family and really take the time to think about them and what they want and just make it more special. I think sometimes kind of going back to budgeting and things as people get to, I think there's an expectation put on people to buy gifts for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think it's usually an expectation we put on ourselves. I don't think other people are really expecting
it's very
things.
Intrinsic. It's very much like, I have to get these people. And, I hear all the time, I don't care if you get me anything, I just want you to be there.
Right.
But then that person's got to get me something big, and I say, I don't care if you. So it's just this vicious cycle.
Right. And I do love to give gifts.
Yeah.
I do.
It feels good.
It does, but I think it's important just to really kind of think about who do I really need to buy something for, and who can I maybe
send a nice card.
Give the gift of time or send a nice card. Yeah, absolutely. Because it's so easy to overspend. You start going shopping and then you're like, oh, I want to buy this for this person
Especially
and
online.
this for that person. Yeah. So I think it's really important just to have a list too of who is it going to be and plan ahead before you go out shopping, because I know if I don't have a plan, then I start just being like, oh, this would be fun, and I like this.
I think I like that, and I think they're a size 4, and
it's a little over what I was gonna spend, but I think
okay.
but it's okay. So yeah, and I think really also just starting ahead of time helps.
Yeah.
So that you're not trying to spend all the money in 1 week, especially if you haven't planned ahead. Kind of just starting to think now and being like, oh, if I found this thing on a sale, and with Black Friday shopping coming soon, and which is another thing, what is Black Friday going to look like in 2020?
I don't know. A lot of places are having online Black Friday deals right now, so I know I just happened to have been on their website because I had to order something. Best Buy has a really big Black Friday sale going on right now, and
October Black Friday?
October Black Friday, and actually I believe it was last weekend, it was Amazon Prime, Target, a bunch of big retailers had a pre-Black Friday event for 4 days, and they sold. I read an article about it. I don't remember how much it was, but I mean a lot of people logged on and ordered. So,
I bet.
I think the one good thing about 2020 is it's created opportunities for people like that where it's more convenient to get those sales, and you don't have to go wait in line at Target for 4 hours to get a TV for $5 or whatever it might be.
I definitely have noticed just over the last few years that the in-store shopping has gone down. As I've mentioned on here before, I do love my shopping. I do like to go to the stores. And so I am one to go out on Black Friday. Don't know that I will be this year. But I think this might just be the tipping point. I don't know if people will really go out on that day and go stand in crowds. I mean, there's already lines to get into stores on a regular Saturday. I can't imagine.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
To do on Black Friday when you can only have so many people in stores and things like that. But, I mean, do you have any last words that you like to share about budgeting for the holidays and holiday spirit?
I think it just, again, all comes back to, thinking about it ahead of time and not doing it last minute. I think the last minute shopping is really what gets everyone. It's like, oh, I got to get all these gifts, and then everything's full price because it's a week before Christmas.
Right.
And so I think it's just about, thinking ahead, making a plan, budgeting for it, saving for it. I know there's a lot of local credit unions here that have Christmas savings accounts that have like a little bit of a higher, I mean, it's not a high interest rate, but it's designed, you can set up automatic monthly contributions.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
All that stuff. And then for Secret Santa, there's websites like Elfster that are free where you can go on and put everyone's names in. And then it does the drawing for you kind of thing. So, it's really just about making the best of the situation. It's a different year, but there's so many resources online. You just Google it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's important to remember that we are so blessed this year. There are so many people who are not in positions that we are, and everybody's situation is different. And maybe this is a year we think about those people and what can we do to help those less fortunate. I think that's something that gets lost in the holidays sometimes, and this year is, I think, more important than ever to remember.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, so before we wrap up, I do have a question from the audience. I am drowning in student loans. Do you have any advice on what to do?
Take a deep breath. I think we hear that a lot, and it'll be interesting to see in the coming administration, whoever gets elected, what kind of happens, because that, I know in the last couple of years, that's all, on Twitter, Facebook, that's like the hot topic. And I think for now, it's really important to not just keep making your payments and just ignoring it, or not making your payments or whatever. I think it's important to talk to someone, talk to a professional about, maybe making a plan for paying those off in a more smart, intelligent way versus just making the minimum payments and letting the interest accrue. Maybe there's refinance programs that you don't know about. Maybe there's a way to consolidate the 8 or 10 different private loans you have. I know right now with the CARES Act, all federal student loans are at 0% interest. And I even have a small student loan from a private lender that they put it in forbearance automatically, and it's not accruing any interest.
Oh, that's nice.
The couple months after COVID, I realized my payment's not coming out, and I looked, and they said, oh, we're doing this for our customers right now, which is really nice. But that's besides the point. I think it's really just making a plan and coming up with a way for those to get paid off, and finding that solution, and not just kind of burying your head in the sand and
absolutely
not thinking about it.
Yeah, I think that there are so many resources out there. I think it's important to do your research, look at all the options. Is there a forgiveness program out there for you? It differs by, I know, state, industry, all of those things. Can you consolidate it? And just remember this is only one piece of your financial picture. So it is important to talk to a professional and have them help you navigate. There's so many pieces that go into, is it the right decision to pay it off? Is it better just to keep making payments? There's a lot to think about. But yes, don't get discouraged.
No.
You're certainly not alone. And so, and if you do have more questions and want to talk about this because it applies to you or our listeners out there, please, again, contact us. You can call us or email us at questions with an S at Elizabeth with an S Dawson.com. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. And we will hope to see you again soon.
The information provided in this show is for informational and educational purposes only. This show is not investment advice, nor is it intended to address the financial needs of any particular viewer. The opinions expressed on this show are not intended to be an endorsement of any particular investment strategy or service of any other kind. You must make an independent decision regarding investments or strategies mentioned throughout the show. Before acting on information in this show, you should consider whether it is suitable for your particular situation and strongly consider seeking advice from a financial advisor.